Welcome back. Well, some good news for holders of water rights. The Constitutional Court has ruled that they are entitled to transfer such rights in accordance with the provisions of the National Water Act. It's dismissed the Department of Water and Sanitation's appeal to curtail these rights. Now, this after the Department of Water and Sanitation had issued a circular back in January of 2018 saying water use entitlements could not be transferred. Now, Agri SA and the South African Water User Associations have welcomed the ConCourt's decision. But to discuss this even further, we're now joined by Janse Rabie from Agri SA. And Janse, thank you so much for your time. Good morning to you. I think let's get some context and perhaps give us some clarity in terms of where this court case actually emanated from.
Yeah, indeed. Good morning. The court case emanated from a circular issued in 2018 by the Department of Water and Sanitation, which contradicted a provision of the National Water Act, coincidentally also Section 25 of that Act, as well as a well-established practice and participation in the Department of Water and by the Department of Water and Sanitation in transfers in accordance with the law, in accordance with the specific mechanism that's allowed for, which says that water can be transferred, or water rights, water use entitlements can be transferred from one person to another, either temporarily or permanently, with the active participation of water management institutions or the Minister of Water and Sanitation, as the case might be. The department's view was that this is leading to a situation whereby commercial farmers are keeping water use entitlements to themselves, and that this trading or the cost implications with underlying transactions coupled to these transfers are making it impossible for emerging farmers to access such water use entitlements. Agri SA, together with a couple of other partners, went to court to question this interpretation. Obviously, the National Water Act says what it says, and commercial farmers and other water users, and those are all water users in the country, need to play by the rules of what the National Water Act says. It's very prescriptive in its determinations as to how water users might be exercised, water use entitlements might be exercised. So we went to court in Pretoria in 2019, where we lost. We then went to the appeal court in Bloemfontein 2 years later, where we won resoundingly. And this final decision by the Constitutional Court is from an appeal by the Department of Water and Sanitation to that decision by the Bloemfontein Appeal Court, which now has vindicated our position and sets the record straight as to how the Water Act should be interpreted in this particular issue.
Yeah, and with that being said, what does this victory then mean?
It means that the department will have to now reconsider applications for water use entitlements or water use licenses, whereby water uses are transferred from one property to another and by one property owner to another. So that blockage, that cessation of such transfers being entertained or applications for such transfers being entertained now needs to be revisited, and the department now needs to start again allowing such transfers to take place.
Janse, do you feel vindicated? Do you think there has been some sort of an assault on property entitlements?
Yes, indeed. I do think we certainly have a huge sense of relief and also a sense of vindication, because the National Water Act doesn't say that government owns water. It says that people of South Africa own water, and they have to exercise that water rights and entitlements in accordance with the Act, with what the Act says. The national government and the minister is the custodian of such water resources, but he's not the owner thereof. So you need to play by the rules. You need to make sure that everybody knows exactly what is allowable and what is not allowable. So from a legality point of view, it certainly makes sense to us, and we certainly feel vindicated. The other side of the coin is also that this ability to be able to transfer water use entitlements is absolutely aimed at effective and efficient use of water, of the resource. And this is one thing that we do have in South Africa, well, we have a lot of land, but we have very little water. And we need to make sure that we exercise our entitlements and the lawful uses of such water and the way we go about our water resources very carefully, and make sure that it's optimized and used as efficiently as possible. So certainly from our point of view, I think it's been a vindication. The other point about the property entitlements is that, again, as I said, government doesn't own water resources. It needs to play by the rules that it created itself. It can't unilaterally say, well, we'll decide what all water uses are going to be and how they're going to be used. If I have an entitlement to use water, and if the same applies to a mining right or a liquor license or a license to operate a taxi, government cannot simply say, listen, you're now prohibited from transferring it or exercising those entitlements as they normally apply in law. They need to also play by the rules. And in that sense, I think there's enormous vindication for Agri SA and our partners in this court case.
And before I let you go, what work lies ahead now for you as Agri SA to ensure that farmers continue to thrive?
Yes, I think there are enormous challenges facing the agricultural sector, and input costs and a number of other challenges are certainly awaiting us. Now, we don't like going to court. We don't like taking government on or fighting with government. We try to ensure that through discussions and through convincing government and other stakeholders of sound arguments that are in the interest of the agricultural sector as a whole, that we create an environment in a legal and policy context that within which all farmers in the country can thrive. So we're certainly happy to keep on doing so. And we'll mend those bridges if they've at all been damaged. I don't think they have. And that needs to be done as a first priority from Agri SA's point of view. The other challenges, we'll take them on one by one as they come. And we know in South Africa there are many. But from an agricultural sector that has been remarkably resilient throughout all these trying times, I think we've done well so far, and we'll certainly seek to build on those successes.
All right, we'll leave it there, and I appreciate you speaking to us about this. Janse Rabie, thank you so much for joining us all the way from Agri SA, just telling us about the victory they had against the Department of Water and Sanitation. We understand that the Agri SA organization, South African Association of Water Users Association as well, welcoming that decision of the Constitutional Court to dismiss the appeal by the Department of Water and Sanitation for the holders of water rights in South Africa.